Hello everyone, what's going on? It's Ordinary Z here, and in this video I will be playing NieR Automata on a computer that's pretty much incapable of being powerful. Like, why am I doing this? Well, it's basically benchmark video, to say the least, but not so many benchmarks, like explaining the details of the settings of the system, but which I'm gonna get into it. Now it's gonna be a pretty much a normal experience of how someone like has no money wants to get into this fantastic game and ends up playing it on a laptop or a desktop that doesn't even hold a candle to actually playing it at 60 FPS. So what I decided to do was just say take a look at the experience how it's gonna be. So what I have for this benchmark video is a computer running an Intel Core i3-9100F, which is a quad-core i3. I mean, NieR Automata's minimum system requirements recommend a second-gen Intel Core i3, which is way worse than my current processor at the moment. It has 4 cores with turbo boost and doesn't have hyper-threading, but whatever. It is what it is. For RAM, we have 8 gigabytes, which is actually the minimum requirements for NieR Automata, 8 gigabytes, which is pretty much decent for basic use and some gaming. I do editing on this machine, which is my daily rig, but I'm looking to upgrade it to 16 gigs down the line, which is gonna happen pretty soon, because I need more RAM for video editing at the moment. But it should run pretty much good on 8 gigabytes, even though it's nowadays seen as minimum and not enough for some newer games. But this game's like what, 5 years old, so it should be technically good. Who am I lying? 6 years old. Uh, as for the graphics card, which is gonna be the real problem of the system, it's the NVIDIA GT 730. Now, this card, when it came out, it was not a gaming card. It was more of a, how do you say, display adapter that's only able to do video codecs fine, but for gaming it was seen as not enough. But still, it was mostly the gamers of the poorer countries that actually bought this card and pretty much played video games on it. Like, there's like no better option. And to be honest, it's my daily gaming card because I pretty much play a lot of AAA titles on it. Some are, okay, I'll admit they're a bit older, but it does the job fine for like 720 to 1080 medium to low settings on newer games. Some newer games won't even run like Halo Infinite, but hey, it's an old card. It released way back in 2014. There's even worse cards like the 710 and 610, like whatever, which are way worse, and this is like a bit better, but not enough for in comparison to the GT 1030 and the GTX 1630, which are way better cards than what I have currently. Now, to start, before I start this benchmark, I'm gonna go ahead and disable my rain meter and other useless services that I have running in the background, such as Discord and as you can see the overlay of, and the rain meter. And I'm gonna go ahead and disable my antivirus because this is a benchmark video. I am going to do it anyway to give this game some better chance of doing it. Now, if I can actually find where the setting is, I don't even do this. I don't recommend doing any of this. Allow threads, no. Okay. I don't recommend disabling the antivirus because it will come in handy. Okay, there we go, I know it. And let me see if anything is pretty much taken up by Windows, such as Edge. Yeah, Edge, there we go, Edge is no more. Memory. We're gonna need Steam to in order to play the game, which is from Steam and it's not DRM free. And to benchmark, we're gonna use Fraps because it's the only thing I know. Alright? It's the only benchmarking software that I pretty much know. And let's just start the game. I'm running this in DirectX 11 mode. And as you can see, I'm gonna move the camera slightly to the right to see that the benchmark score is 50 or 60 sometimes on the menu, which is kind of fucked up. It's the menu, what do you expect? Oh, and I'm doing this free cam because I wanna give this computer the highest chance of running this game. I do not want any lags on the video recordings with OBS to have. So I'm doing this free-handed. I don't want a laggy footage from OBS, and so let's see how these settings are gonna be. And the settings are 1050, 1680 by 1050p, which is the highest my monitor actually goes. It's an old monitor from 2008. What do you expect? It still works. So here we have the graphics card detected, VSync is on, and everything else, including ambient inclusion, weird fancy effects, fidelity effects, turned all the way to the lowest. And we have 25 FPS in the menu or the option screen, which is actually pretty much bad. Let me just load the game real quick. Start. I don't have any high hopes for this game at 1080 or 1050p at the moment because even the menu is a bit laggy. But we should see the benchmark regardless. So here we have the game, and I deeply apologize for the bad footage of my camera. That's that basically I have to do free cam. I don't have a tripod yet. So here's the game, and we get 11 to 10 FPS in the desert. I didn't play much of this because I wanted to get some footage on YouTube up and running to showcase the benchmark of this game. But as you can see, the desert part is completely unplayable. As for the game, I think this game is like actually fantastic. I really like it. As the story so far, I haven't beaten the game yet, but so far it's pretty good. Even though I'm only in the beginning, and what I've seen so far is shaping out to be good. Soundtrack is kind of good. The gameplay is what I like. I mean, it's a break from what I typically play: shooting games, FPSs, and stealth. Sometimes strategy, but yeah, it's a pretty good game. I like the hack and slash mechanics of it. And the closer we go, we get like 10 to 9 FPS. I mean, I don't recommend playing this game on any settings like this. Okay, so we got this guy. He's gonna go talk some shit. Yeah, we get it. What about those people with lower computers? I mean, it's kind of good for like making a slow-mo footage, but I don't recommend playing this like this. Combat seems to be good, but I don't recommend playing with 10 to 7. Oh, it's 7 FPS. What the fuck? I mean, 7 is a lucky number, but I do not, and I repeat, do not recommend playing with this frame rate. Well, it's kind of cool to see this in slow motion. The camera doesn't do it justice, and my monitor's weird setup doesn't even help it in the slightest. I got mail. I do not wanna see how. I mean, the desert isn't that intensive for the game, so let's just go ahead and I don't want to imagine the city because I was gonna go into the city or the ruins of the city, however you want to call it, but the game is just too slow for at the moment for that. So I'm gonna go back and lower the resolution down to about. I was gonna test out 900p, but I'm directly going to 720 instead because if it doesn't run on 720 fine first, there's no way in chance it's gonna do 900p. And believe me, I tested this 900p off camera and it did not run all that well. So here it is. We have the game on. Let me just move my monitor a bit. There we go. We have the game at 720, and so far we get about 5 more FPS, which is not enough. I mean, I do not think this is a good improvement. I mean, in the slightest, it's not even the marginal improvement. It's only like extremely marginable. I mean, it's doable, but I do not want to experience 15 FPS at constant. So I'm gonna go back to the city hall. I mean, the desert isn't even that intensive, so the city is more intensive than the desert. Now, there could be even more intensive parts in the game. I know, but at the moment I haven't reached them because I haven't finished the game yet. But when I do, I will inform you in the comments, or somebody else can tell me how bad. I mean, how do you say how intensive some parts of the game can actually be on systems like this. So we get about 18 FPS. Not bad, not bad. And now it's going even slower. Why does it need to connect to some network? I'm playing this game offline. Now, this game was actually buggy at launch and broken on PC, but with like even worse performance than this. Now, this is not running without any mods or it's running unmodded for that matter. Let me just lower the volume a bit if it gets in the way. But yeah, I used to try without the mod the like launch version, which is the worst version on PC, and the game did not run good even at 800 by 600. It was like too slow. Okay, so the combat is really bad. I mean, as you can see on lower frame rates, and the city part is like super intense. But yeah, there was like this file mod that you have to download and install it inside your game, and it kind of make the game a lot playable. But and I can admit that the game was playable on even the lowest settings I had. I mean, it was a comparison the prologue, which was like running at 10 FPS, like on 1050p at the previously, and yeah, kind of bounced up to like 30 FPS to 25 with the occasional dips. And this is the problem with the city. This part is like super intensive. It's even slow to play. I mean, but credits were due. They actually fixed the game like 4 years after it came out, and which is this is the fixed version that I'm playing, and it's actually good. And they added some mouse support, but they haven't fixed the performance completely. I mean, it's fixed on newer cards than this, but it's not enough. So I'm gonna drop the settings down to about 1024 by 768 if I can actually find a setting that's actually correct a bit. Alright, so here we are. We are at 1024 by 768. This was my main monitor resolution when I used to use Windows XP on my old computer. And the city part isn't that. And it's kind of improved, but it's not enough. Just for reference, I used to play and I still play the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on this system, and on 724 by 1024 by 768 resolution, and that game runs way better, like way better than Automata. It kind of maintains a constant 30 FPS throughout that game with slight dips to the 20s, but it's not actually bad. Here it's like even worse. I mean, I haven't played it like a long. Please forgive me for my poor gameplay because I haven't played it like 2 years or so because I had other games to finish. Like, so yeah, kind of going back to the learning of controls. Yeah, the city part is still intense, as you can see. We have slight dips to the 15s. Lowest we got is like 14. And some people are gonna say in the comment section, why aren't you using MSI Afterburner? Well, I'm not too technical to know the 1% and minus 1% loss on how they go on MSI Afterburner, and I have never used it in my life. So, for comparison's sake, I'm showing this with Fraps to see how playable the game will actually be. Let's go to the desert and see how fast it's gonna go. This is like the most low end dropping point you will ever have in a video game. Be right back. Okay, so yeah, the game is too slow on the city. I'm not sure why. Now I have searched for like super duper low end mods that kind of help with a bit of performance, but so far I haven't found none of them. I mean, I found a couple, but they are actually being run on a computer that's kind of a bit newer. I mean, newer components like an Athlon 2000G processor with its integrated graphics. I'm not sure how worse or better the integrated graphics on that processor are, but so far I have not found one person benchmarking it with these mods. Now, if I can find some more mods or somebody can please recommend it to me because I'm gonna make a part 2 follow up on how to like get the game optimized if I can do enough testing, and maybe I can help for some people that are like struggling to play this game, which is a small group sadly because everybody has better graphics cards than me. As I said, the processor and the RAM on this system are pretty much good enough for this game, and they don't cause too much problem. But it's the graphics card on the system, so yeah. We're going down, and so far the desert doesn't seem to be bad in regards to speed. Going to about 20. Never mind, it's the same story. I actually killed the enemies, uh, so I thought, because I can still see them on the map. Yeah, not much different than 720p. I actually expected more. I mean, I went ahead and deployed Windows and disable a lot of services that I don't need usually, and I don't disable my antivirus because I want to be protected while playing games and using my computer, but pretty much for day-to-day usage, and so it's not really showing its effect. I mean, it does show its effect on normal usage, but not in gaming like this. Let me see combat in the desert, and he goes down pretty easily, and yeah, 10 FPS. So that was 720. I mean, sorry, 1024 by 768. So we're gonna drop it down even further. It's like this fourth time I'm actually mistaking a setting inside the game. Right, we tested it out, so we're gonna go at resolution even lower than this, 800 by 600. This is the minimum, and by far minimum I recommend for games that you can't pretty much run on potatoes. And so far we got about 20 FPS. kind of feels smooth, but because for me it's more of a placebo effect, or my mind just kind of ironed it out, which is 100% the deal. And it's kind of not really bad to play on 800 by 600. I mean, we get about 20 FPS to constantly. I mean, if I'm playing this without the FPS counter, it's kind of smooth to play, but when I'm playing without the counters, so yeah, with the counters, it's kind of telling me a different story. But yeah, we got about 25 FPS, which is a kind of an improvement, but it's still not enough. Now, someone's in the comments gonna say, "Why don't you just play the game like this? You know, play it all the way to the end." And I'm trying to play games like this sometimes, but here's the problem: games like this require like a lot of precise movements and mechanics while in combat, and in the later parts of the game, you have stronger enemies, stronger stuff, and you need to use these special movements and mechanics. And the problem is with lower frame rates, your time and reaction are kind of extremely delayed. They're extremely delayed, and you cannot make your move precisely as it is. So you end up taking more damage, or just be lucky enough to make it, or you'll just end up being killed. So we're back at the city, and the enemies respawn. I didn't know that they respawn. Impressive. Which kind of will make my benchmark video a lot easier to do at the moment. Oh, I'm gonna get killed. Which was the how do you use this bot? I've kind of forgot a bit. I spent too much talking and less playing. So we're now in black and white, and we fucked up. The thing is, I fucked up in the menus, and now I have to like adjust the camera because I have actually knocked it a bit. So yeah, and hello, that's too much. It's too much. Yeah, I know. I deeply apologize for the bad footage of my camera, but all the place that I'm taking this recording at the moment. But yeah, this is the best I can do. Free cam. Maybe if I tried it like at midnight, I would have like gotten better results. But I do other stuff at midnight, so it's not actually possible. So yeah, let's find the body to recover some shit. Um, yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go. It's better. So far, it's pretty good so far on 800 by 600. Not bad, but not good either. Yeah, 25 FPS. I'm impressed. It's nothing impressive. This is 1997 after all anymore. But yeah, it's kind of impressive for a game like this to run on this system. But I know it certainly can be a lot better. G. Yes. Okay. Let's take a dive in the seat inside the city. And so far, it's not. It's actually better than 1024 by 768, which is not saying much because there's some dips if you're going further inside the city. Okay, there we go. We got down to 18 FPS. Like this is gonna be a turn off for some people because the frame rate is like so bad, and you can actually end up going had to have a like nausea and other kind of medical issues after long sessions with bad frame rate and sometimes low FOV. But this isn't a FPS game to have bad FOV, so I'm pretty much used to it. I'm not sure what the number is, but I might change it. Yeah, it goes down. I guess the grass is like too much for this game. Are we still making that demanding grass like years after? This isn't Crisis. And just for reference, my computer runs Crisis pretty good. So we get 800 by 600. It's playable. Some text is readable, but it's doable. Let's see if we can improve the frame rate even more by going down to 640 by 480. Well, welcome to 1996, everyone, where this resolution was common. Extreme, more common so than the let's move the camera a bit. There we go. More common than anything else at the time. And so far the city is kind of improved, but the text is kind of having a readability issue at the moment. And I can still see it's going, yeah, even the same level at 800 by 600, like, which is too much. Too much lag, to be honest, but hey. At least it's kind of improved in some areas. Whereas this resolution might be better for performance, it's not my ideal resolution. I'm even surprised it's listed in the default settings. But yeah, it's if you're gonna play this game at 800 by 600 or like 1920 by 700, I mean, sorry, 640 by 480 or 800 by 600, I would say playing this game at 800 by 600 because at least you can read some stuff going on in the game. With this one, you're just gonna have a lot of jagged edges and unreadable text. Yeah, just blow, okay? Just go blow up, please. Fine, I'll do it myself. I'm gonna blow you up. There we go. Now let's go into the desert and we're gonna ignore that robot over there because I wanna see how good. So far we're kinda reaching 30 FPS finally. But hey, it's not it. Oh, and for those nerds out there that care about computer hardware even more, this GT730 is the DDR3 variant, which is very slow, but it's not the Fermi variant. I believe it's the Kempler version. For those unaware, there are like three GT730s. One is the Fermi 730, which sucks, and it's by far the worst of the card. And the people who say it's like the was GT730 is the worst card, they probably use that. So yeah, it's shit. We got 33 FPS over there, so the desert's pretty good, like 800 by 600 and even better. Look at her go. The same message appeared. Good. Let me see combat in the desert. There we go. Not bad. It's actually playable. I would consider playing this for me. I can't say for other people though. Some people like more, and I can understand that. So yeah, it's not actually bad. But if you ask me, I would pretty much recommend playing this game at 800 by 600 if you have a system like this. And I didn't finish my graphics card analysis, which is the second variant of the GT730 is the DDR3 Kempler version, which is actually slightly better, which is better than the Fermi variant, and it's pretty much the version I'm using. And it's pretty much like a card that doesn't suck, but it still sucks though. It's slow because of DDR3. And there's the GDDR5 version, which is actually even better than both of these cards, but I don't have it. and so far I can't find any benchmarks of NieR Automata online that use all three cards to compare the benchmarks. So take take most of the benchmarks with this card or any lower end cards with a grain of salt. But I have one more trick up my sleeve, and that is we're gonna put this game down all the way down to about. Now let me just back this off real quick because there's a readability problem with the camera because of my position, and let me show you. We're gonna put this game all the way down to about 320 by 240. Yes, yes, I know, I know. This card is like, I mean, this resolution is so bad that you just can barely even read it. But look at this, constant 60 FPS is even written like big numbers. What can you go wrong with this? Let's see how fucking fast this is. Look at this, 40 FPS. I actually said too much. It's back to 30. But look how playable this is. At the cost of being extremely blurry and barely readable and extremely jagged. But look, smooth frame rate. What can you say more about that? Oh my god, look at this. It's so playable. You know how to make this game playable? You have to like make this look even worse than what you already have. Oh my god. Yeah, let's go to the city and see how fast this is gonna go. Well, we have like 50 FPS at max. Well, look at it go now. With about 45 FPS. I mean, it's playable, but do you really want to play at like 320 by 240? I mean, this isn't 1990 anymore. This is 2023. And I'm surprised this game even goes even lower than this. And than what it has. Oh, I leveled up. Praise the GT 730 for actually being capable of running NieR Automata at 320 by 240. Oh my god. And the city part still looks like runs like dog shit, but not extremely that bad. It's actually improved significantly until I get to this part where it just completely goes ape mode and starts being laggy as it used to be. But hey, if you wanna play NieR Automata and wanna sacrifice visibility and readability for smoother frame rates, then the 324 by 240 resolution is actually your best bet. I'm saying this at the worst spot because I got 17 FPS over there, but I don't care. It's still funny to me how this game even looks. Look at her. You can't even see 2B properly with this resolution. It looks better on camera, but in real life circumstances, from my point of view, that I'm not recording, it looks really bad. So I'm gonna take it to 800 by 600 and kind of say this video is actually done. Somehow I actually was able to find the settings properly than unreadable resolutions. But hey, this is like a fun benchmark to do. In conclusion, NieR Automata somewhat playable at low settings at 800 by 600, but let's be real, if you really wanna play this game at this point, I would suggest playing it on a better graphics card than what I have on a better system. Because I can make find some mods and make this game to be playable on even lower end systems, which I'm planning to do a video if I can find enough information. But you're losing out on visual quality at that point, so you're missing out on the beautiful aesthetics this game has to offer, and pretty much anything else this game showcases for its graphics. Not that they're any better. Like The Witcher 3 has better graphics and it's more but less demanding. But yeah, this game is like pretty much fantastic. I recommend anybody play it. And yeah, I'm nothing more to add. Just either play it like this or just get a better system. Or if I can get enough information, I'll just mod the game and change my opinion on that for this video. So yeah, that's all I had. This was Ordinary Z. I'm signing out, but I'm saying a goodbye and thanks for watching before I do that. And also, don't forget to follow my Instagram and Facebook account. Sorry, Twitter account. Instagram and Twitter accounts for more. They'll be in the description. I do a lot of cooking stuff on this channel. Sometimes I do shit like this. That's how my life actually goes. I have a lot more videos coming your way, so do not forget to miss them out. Thanks for watching.